I think obviously when you're thinking about being successful at the end of the season, then you do have to have the combination of the attack and the defense, which we did spend a lot of time with our players in the spring, and we hope to make it an emphasis as the year goes. Like, we've already been doing video and trying to work on some better defensive concepts, because sometimes when you play a high offensive speed, I guess, then it does lead to a little bit more transition play in the opposite direction. And we don't want to be a team that leaves itself too open, I guess, defensively by doing that. So it's like picking and choosing our opportunities on attack and being a little bit smarter with our opportunities on attack of when to be in control and when can we be a little bit more transitional. Our sophomore and freshman class have to give us the depth that we need to be successful at the, later on in the season, because that's always been something, is that we've always had, I think, the ability to get off to a quick start in the season and, to be competitive in the conference. But at the end, we want to try to see as far, how far we can make it. And in order to do that, you do need the depth in your lineup. You need the depth with your forwards, and you need the depth in midfield. And because this season, those games are close together. I mean, even this coming weekend, a Friday, a Sunday, a Tuesday, and those Central players are putting in a lot of miles in those games. They're running 6 miles, 7 miles a game, and there's not a lot of recovery for them. So they can maybe handle it at the beginning of the season, but it starts to take its toll as the season goes on, especially when you add travel. And so it's been a big commitment in the spring to make sure that we continue to work hard with our players to keep developing them as players. And then obviously with the first years, we haven't had the opportunity yet to develop them. So it's important to give them, chances, I guess, in a game early on, to give them a little bit of experience to be able to help them so that they can help us later on as well. So those first year players and second year players, even the first year players, it was a big part of their recruiting conversation. Would you join our program because we feel that you could really help us, be a better team, because we need that depth. It's just been a goal, I guess, of America East and the conference to have field hockey, be as highly ranked as we can, and we discuss it as coaches, and we have a good relationship amongst all the coaches, and we're all committed to trying to, play the best schedule and trying to take our teams to the next level. And the more teams that are ranked in our conference, the better it makes each of our programs. So to have 4 teams in the top 25 definitely speaks to the caliber of our conference. And we're competing against some big conferences like the ACC and the Big Ten, and to be able to be talked about amongst those programs is I think it's just great for our players. The America East poll, I think, just because Albany has had a lot of turnover with graduating, some great senior players, and I know that they have a young roster, but I know that they'll be working hard, all season to come together as a group, and New Hampshire is always a great program as well. So, I mean, maybe flattering to be ranked number 1. Sometimes you're a little bit disappointed if you're not selected, in the top or whatever, but they are, polls, and we still have to play our games, and the beginning of the season will give us a better idea of where we are.